establishment of the Commonwealth and its promise of independence was welcomed by the Filipino people. It was seen as an opportunity to craft the destiny of the Filipino nation under the American age. In Commonwealth government, Quezon and Osmeña were re-elected by the Filipino people on November 11, 1941. But during 1930s to 1940s, the world was engulfed with the rise of authoritarianism and war, and Japan was one of them. Japan was a rising imperial power and wanted to compete with Western imperialism. In order to fully compete and to sustain the growth of their empire, they needed resources. Philippines was one of their targets to be a source of their raw materials, and so the war began. In order to successfully invade the country, Japan had first dismantled the United States military power. They bombarded the Pearl Harbor, which was an American military base in the Pacific, on December 7, 1941.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this important bulletin from the United Press. Flash, Washington. The White House announces Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Stay tuned to WOR for further development.
Magandang umaga sa iyo, General. Ano ang may pag-iingat ko sa iyo?
Magandang umaga din sa iyo, Mr. President.
Ano ang ibig sabihin itong ating personal na pag-uusap din?
Amo nang lumikas, Mr. President. Hindi na natin alam kung ano ang mga plano ng mga Hapones na ginaligtas rito.
Saan naman tayo lumikas, General?
Sa Corregidor Island sa Manila Guman. Plano kong makipaglaban kasama ang ating mga hukbo sa Bataan at Corregidor at gawing open city ang Manila.
Manila was declared as an open city by General MacArthur to prevent Japanese bombings and civilian casualties. By January 2, 1942, the Japanese forces already occupied Manila. In Bataan and Corridor, the troops fought until the end to defend the Commonwealth government and wait for United States reinforcement and supplies. The defense of Bataan by the combined forces of Filipinos and Americans was noted for heroic efforts to defend the Philippines. Unfortunately, the sustained attacks of the Japanese forces were just too overwhelming.
Sir, our troops are slowly reducing manpower, weapons and supplies. What will we do, sir?
The United States reinforcement and supply.
Yes, sir, but it didn't come.
This is a problem. The situation is getting worse.
What is your plan to do, sir?
Inform everyone, we need to go to Australia right now.
Sir, yes, sir.
By April 1942, Filipino and American troops could anymore defend Bataan against the more equipped Japanese forces. Finally, on April 9, the remaining top military officials formally surrendered to the Japanese. Through a radio broadcast, this news was delivered to the Philippines and the world.
Bataan has fallen the Philippine-American troops. Under war of agent, blood swing, financially I have pledged. Under arms with the bloody, but on both they have yielded to the Serbian force and the number of enemy.
With the victory of Japanese, they immediately consolidated their rule in the Philippines. On June 16, 1943, Japanese Prime Minister Hideki Tojo gave the Philippines the promise of independence. By October, the Japanese installed a Second Republic, which was commonly referred as the Japanese Puppet Regime. Under the Second Republic, rights and freedoms of the Filipinos were heavily suppressed.
Bitawan mo ko! Parang awa mo na!
Go, President!
The people continued to resist against the occupation of the Japanese. There are several guerrilla groups within the country. probably the group that threatened the Japanese the most was the Hukbo ng Bayan Laban sa mga Hapon or Huk Balahap. They are good in conducting ambushes, freed prisoners, assisted towns devastated by Japanese forces, stole weapons, and spies the enemy.
People of the Philippines, I have returned.
Welcome back again, General.
Good! When can we start?
Anytime you want, General.
Start immediately. Prepare the troops. We're going to reclaim Manila and Japanese.
Yes, General.
Together, the joint forces of American soldiers and Filipino guerrillas rapidly attacked Japanese positions all over the country. The combined American and Filipino forces regained the formerly Japanese-occupied territories, a major moment for Philippine history, and the Second World War was when the American troops arrived in Manila in February 3, 1945. The battle between the Filipino and American forces against Japanese troops would become the Battle of Manila. After months of fighting, the Japanese forces soon retreated to the mountain regions of northern Luzon. Battle after battle, the Japanese were defeated on July 4. MacArthur proclaimed the liberation of the Philippines from the Japanese.
This is the voice of freedom. General MacArthur speaking. People of the Philippines, I have returned with the grace of Almighty God. Our forces stand again on Philippines. Soil consecrated in the blood of our two people, we have come dedicated and committed to the task of destroying every vestige of enemy control over your daily lives, and of restoring upon a foundation of indestructible strength derivatives of your people. At my side is your President Sergio Osmeña, worthy successor of that great patriot Manuel Quezon. With members of his cabinet, the seat of your government is now, therefore, firmly established on Philippine soil. The hour of your redemption is here. Your patriots have demonstrated an unwavering and resolute devotion. The principles of freedom that challenges the written on the pages of human history.